Hi, Pastor Nathan Decker with your Better Together devotion for today. And you can see that I'm wearing a Tough Mudder headband because this has a lot to do with this whole week's worth of devotions. And I'm speaking specifically about how is it that we as Christians grow our faith. And so one of the metaphors that we get in the Bible from the Apostle Paul is that the faith, the growing in the faith is like running a race. And well, growing in and who I am as a human being. At one point, I'll give a shout out to Andrew Ware and Glenn Riggs. Some colleagues of mine convinced me that we needed to take care of our bodies, and as a part of doing that was we needed to go do the Tough Mudder. If you don't know what the Tough Mudder is, the Tough Mudder is 20 obstacles on 11 to 12 miles of running. That's right, a long run with mud and monkey bars and all kinds of crazy obstacles, anything somebody could think of, that's what they did. And so I did. And as a part of that, I knew that I had to do some training. You see, I never ran. In fact, for most of my life, I avoided running. I thought it was kind of something that hurt, and it was not something to be done well. So I eventually started running and intentionally started having a plan. If you want to grow in your faith, you have to have a plan. So you have to plan, you have to write it down, you have to have a sticky note, if you're like I am at least, that you write down a plan that says, this is my intentional way of growing in the faith. You see, what I've realized is that if you're not intentional about developing your faith, it doesn't happen. There has to be some intentionality behind it. What I would put it is this way. If I don't put on my calendar that I'm going to run a 5K tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm not going to do it. If I don't plan to do it, I'm not going to do it. You know, it seems like today in our culture, we seem to want things to just happen. We want it to be instant, and we want it to be painless and effortless. But the reality is that faith is not something that develops that way. We have to plan on reading maybe the Bible, maybe the Gospels. You know, I have a penchant for Matthew, Mark, and Luke. They're great. Try them out. There might be also that we need to intentionally tell ourselves that we have to have time for prayer, whether it's when we wake up or at lunch or maybe when we're going to bed, or maybe all three. We need to have an intentional plan, because if you don't schedule that you're going to run, you won't run. If we don't schedule and give plan and time to say we're going to develop our faith, we're not going to develop our faith. So the first thing you want to do, if you want to grow in your faith, if we're going to truly grow as disciples of Jesus Christ, the first thing we've got to do is be intentional about it and have a plan. This is Pastor Nathan Decker reminding you, we're better when we do it together. God bless.